Hey, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to another Blogs with Boilon Friday. Before we get started with the blog, I want to have a little addendum here based on my milestone video from yesterday from ORBS. I did make a correction. I did make a pinned message about this, but if people didn't see it, so I had posted originally that there was 44 Mystic Assassin Orbs for Fangs Out milestone. Turns out it was 51. I did a miscount, I guess, when I was going through the milestone myself. That brings us to a 4-day total of 56. This is 5 for the first day, the first 4 days of the arena web milestone, but overall that makes it 61 for free-to-play orbs that are currently available, not counting the eventual Flesh and Blood milestone, which will be available on Monday. So a lot of people were talking about whether or not we're going to get to that 4-star Morbius free-to-play or not, and I think a lot of that depends on what that second milestone contains in terms of the total amount of Mystic Assassin orbs. I don't know if I want to assume that we're going to be getting exactly double the amount by that, so I would caution people to think that you're going to get the full 180 shards, because realistically they haven't been that friendly to us over the last few months with character releases. So just keep that in mind anyways, and we'll do this again, we'll revisit this again on Monday. And speaking of that, I want to talk about the Mystic Assassin Orb itself as well, because I didn't get a chance to, and I forgot when I did my original video. So I don't know about you guys, but I actually don't think it's very good. Now, I opened it up, you know, I've opened like 20 orbs or however many I've opened at this point now, and like the 3k gold on the side is super insulting. The right pillar, you do get like, what is it, 5? You have a small chance of getting 5 T4s, otherwise it's T2s and T3s. Okay for newer players, but what's super insulting is like the 2 shards and the 3 shards, which is 90% of the chance for a lot of garbage characters that you're probably not going to need, with the exception of Cloak, who's available in the raid store, and you have a very slim chance of getting a jackpot of 100 shards, or you know, all of these things here. I think I got 33 of White Tiger, actually. But aside from that, like, there's just not a lot of great characters in here. The best ones are obviously Cloak, but also actually Black Panther and M'Baku for Chaos Theory, if you're still someone who needs to collect shards for them. But yeah, I just wanted to go over that very quickly. I don't know if I want to say, go as far as saying it's a Thanos-giving orb. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Mystic Assassin Orb. I think it's kind of jank, but I'm curious to see what other people have to say. But let's jump on over to the blog now, shall we? Okay, and I think some of us kind of knew what was coming, so yes, we had some details that Agatha was the final member of the Darkhold team specifically. We have, like, what's basically old Agatha, the comic Agatha, so it seems like both for Agatha and for Wong, we're getting the comic version, not the MCU version. Sometimes they flip-flop between which kind of characters that we're getting. And I think we're going to be seeing the rework for Scarlet Witch in here as well. So this should be pretty interesting for those who haven't seen the kits in particular. So we're going to skip through the lore as we normally do here. But we're going to talk about some of this stuff down here. So Agatha is the support for the Darkhold team, and her stats feature high focus and resistance to reinforce her abilities. She fortifies her teams with deflects, barriers, more barriers, because doesn't Wong do that too? And heals. So there's a healing aspect to this team as well, which should be really interesting, because if she can heal more broadly, then it might make her actually more widely usable outside of her own team as well. We'll find out. Agatha can reliably stop enemies in their tracks with stuns from her special ability Binding Enchantment and her ultimate ability RuneScape. And take note that the stun inflicted by her ultimate specifically targets a Hero Mystic controller and a Hero Mystic Blast. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so you know that this is meant... Sorry, I had to laugh. This is specifically a call out against Cersei, Hero Mystic Controller, and a Hero Mystic Blaster, which is the call out to Icarus. Oh dear lord, did they even need to do that? Because I'm pretty sure that Morgan's kit already called out to against a lot of this stuff anyways. In fact, her kit features a lot of anti-mystic bonuses. This is literally them just screaming at you to just, like, fuck Eternals. Like I can't say it any other way. That's basically what this team seems to be all about. And like, I didn't even think they even needed anymore. So let's find out. Villain, Global, Mystic, Support, Darkhold. So that's interesting, because I think from a Dark Dimension perspective, that Global seems to be lacking some viable, like, 4th and 5th characters in some cases, depending on who you're using. Obviously, you have the Secret Avengers for Dark Dimension Global right now. But there's often, like, this gap in, like, the final characters that you want to choose for this. So, who knows? Let's find out. Basic Witchcraft. Attack primary target for 275% piercing. I think that's a lot of piercing damage. If the primary target is Mystic, deal 5% of the target's max health. Okay, so that's okay. Apply +1 deflect up to a max of 3 to self and all Darkhold allies. On a basic? That's pretty good. I wonder if that activates on a striker follow-up as well. Call one random adjacent Darkhold ally to attack the primary target. Called ally attacks for 50% damage. In arena, call 2 random. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. That's a lot of damage. That's also a lot of stuff. A lot of bullet points for a basic attack. But what's really striking here is the deflect portion. At least that would also be available on herself. So even if you are using her standalone, kind of interesting. Binding Enchantment, energy cost 4 to 4. Attack primary target for 250% damage plus apply slow. Okay. If the primary target has slow, so assuming this lands. Bonus attack for 180 plus apply stun. If the primary target has... This is like Swarm. Do you guys remember Swarm special when he just like let out the bees and it would do all these debuffs, but it would have to consecutively land to get the bonus attacks after that. If the primary target has stun, bonus attack for 180 more, plus prolong the duration of all negative effects, excluding ability block and stun, of course. You know, why not? So, yes, this is essentially a Swarm skill that applies stun, basically, and does more damage. So, that's interesting. Ultimate RuneScape, 10 out of 10. So, this is also available on turn 1. I guess, depending on, you know, what you're going up against, you're probably going to use this first anyways, but who knows. Attack all enemies for 100% piercing, plus bonus attack for 2 times for 100% piercing. So, it's 300% piercing, but I suppose if there's death proof, then this will ping multiple times. Apply heal block for 2 turns. A super long cooldown, by the way. Apply heal block for 2 turns, plus offense down for 2 turns to all enemies. Okay, so pretty crippling on the debuff so far. Apply stun to Icarus. Let's be honest, I don't know how many other Hero Mystic blasters there are. I'm trying to think. Elsa. Actually, Elsa Bloodstone off the top of my head. But yeah, this is definitely a screw you Icarus. With the highest damage and apply stun to Cersei. Again, I don't know how many Hero Mystic controllers there are. No, it's because it's Dr. Voodoo controller or support. I don't know if this would land on him. Either way, I was just thinking, like, oh my god, this is like, okay, stun to Icarus and stun to Cersei. Alright, done. Heal self and all allies for 35% of this character's max health. Very high, but of course his energy cooldown of 10. So if you're thinking about using her elsewhere, without the battery, you know, it's going to be really, really difficult. Barrier yourself and all Darkhold allies for 30. Tons of barrier. They're already taking advantage of a shit ton of barrier with Morgan Le Fay and Pestilence, you know, and Wong, and there's like so much barrier going on with this team. I could see that if Blue ISO 4 and 5 come out, that Fortifier 5 would be truly amazing on this team. Gain 2 ability energy for each Mystic enemy up to a max of 6. Okay, so this is available outside of Arena, which is really good. So I can see this being potentially really, really good in Dark Dimension, actually, where there are many, many enemies that you could probably hit to, you know, smack and get all of this energy back. So this could be really good. And it gets 50% extra focus for each Mystic enemy. So yeah, I actually think despite the huge energy cost that there is some viability here in other game modes. So that's pretty good as a standalone character. Salem Survivor on spawn, gain 2 Death Proof, okay. On the end of any turn, at the end of any turn, if this character has taunt, gain stealth. Okay, so no taunt to her. I'm trying to think where this would be the case, and I'm thinking like against Cersei, which is really strange, because Cersei puts taunt on support characters, right? So, or was that cosmic support? Shit, I don't remember, but maybe not. Any other instance where she might gain taunt, I guess. 50% focus, Darkhold allies gain 50%, and then they all get 25% drain. So yeah, wow, lots of barrier, lots of drain. Tons of good stuff on this team, but you know, it's just this is power creep to the max. When this character or any Darkhold ally drops below 30% for the first time, 30% max health for the first time, do the following. Like all of this or 1. Clear disrupt on that character, flip 2 negative effects into positives, apply defense up to stealth and apply defense up and stealth. Barrier that holy shit, what the fuck is going on? Like when an enemy drops, this is a lot of shit. Does all 4 of these happen? And why is there a ... When an enemy drops below 30% health for the first time, do this. Attack character for 100% piercing, flip 3 positive effects to the negatives, apply disrupt, and apply +1 deflect to all Darkhold allies. Holy shit. So, this looks fucking broken. Like, I can't stress that out and say that in any other way. And the dot dot dots are slightly confusing. So does that mean that they're going to be doing all 4 of these or one of the 4? I don't know. I'm confused. Maybe someone else will know more than I do. Maybe one of the envoys will know that. Maybe because they probably talked about this in their envoy call. But honestly, because of the dot dots, I've never seen that before, so it makes me a bit skeptical. Let's talk about Scarlet Witch's updates, though. That's a lot of health. Damage. Armor stat has been increased to give her a okay, so she no longer has 0 armor. Thank fuck. So my 7 red Scarlet Witch might actually mean something. Speed plus 5%. I don't remember what her speed actually was before. I'll have to go back and check that out later on. Basic Hex Bolt. Okay, so what's changed? So if this character is not at full energy, this attack does 50% more damage and apply offense down, defense down, and slow for 2 turns. That's interesting, actually, because it's a guaranteed of these 3, which was actually the negative effects that she could apply anyways. But this does more damage, and it's 2 turns, which is pretty cool. Special, so we knew what that did before. What does it do now? Heal self for 100% of this character's max health. And then redistribute evenly to the squad. So if this base stats of 50, I'll have to do some calculations on this. And I'll do that for this weekend. 50% base health increase. That could be quite sizable. I'm not really sure where she lands right now. But with this calculation, it's possible this could be really nuts. And it's almost like a quasi-heal then. Because it's doing some of the same stuff here. But then because she's healing herself up to full, she's potentially then redistributing more of that health to everyone else. So pretty neat. Yeah, it's not bad. Let's see what the ultimate does. Okay, so not as much rework as we're not getting a Gamora 2.0. It was seen here with Scarlet Witch. That's a bit unfortunate. So we get an increase of 50% piercing damage though. Prolong the duration of all negative effects by 1. So I want to say that they did not nerf this, that it will still extend ability block and stun, which she did before, but I kind of was unsure whether or not they would nerf this going forward because a lot of the new characters do not do this. Now, it does have a guaranteed of defense down to all enemies, but because of the order of operations it looks like in the bullet points, the defense down is going to come after, so it's not going to extend the defense down that she puts on, and it's unavoidable, of course. So I guess that's to get rid of this part here of requiring supernatural allies. So now this is guaranteed just standalone, which is fine. It's just that it's only going to be 1 turn, it looks like, on a cooldown of, actually I don't even, it doesn't even say because I don't remember. I think it was a cooldown of 5 or 6 though. New unique gear piece. So this was in the data mines. The last new, wait, it's been a while since new in-game piece. Mysterio, new unique, so we have a tempered osmium. Will be first found in Morgan Le Fay's, that was a slip of the tongue. Morgan Le Fay's gear tree. They'll be used for various subsequent characters. So I'm wondering how many of the Darkhold characters are going to be required for this new osmium. So is this going to be like Miasma 2.0 where all of the Darkhold characters are requiring them? I wonder, aside from Scarlet Witch, of course. You'll be able to find them in the same locations as other gear pieces, raid supplies, war supplies, purple gear, raid orbs, and okay, so what this tells you is save your orbs now. Your orange elite orbs, your war elite credits, if you presumably you're already doing that anyways, and anywhere else, you know, specifically the orange elite orbs, because those have actually a really good chance of you pulling random uniques there. So that's normally where I've seen a lot of random stuff. So definitely get on that. And actually, I want to just pivot to that really quick since I have it up. So here, you know, this stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, I opened 100 of them just like a couple of days ago, but I'm going to be starting to save them again. Save these, because there's a good chance that, and frankly, save your teal gear raid orbs. I didn't do that either. So these things, where you might have a chance of getting the new uniques in this, save these. And actually, it might be a really good time to open up these orange gear war orb 2s. It doesn't, by patch 6.0, we'll find out if there's going to be a teal gear war orb. If there's not, honestly, I don't see one coming anytime soon, and I might just open them up for these, not only for G15 uniques, but also for a chance at the new unique as well. So keep that in mind too. Mojo's Mayhem. We'll also feature it as a reward in upcoming anniversary celebration. Okay, so they're going to give us some, whether it's purple, oranges, or whatever, we'll find out. Mojo's Mayhem Season 17, a new Storm costume that's going to be with patch 6.0 probably. That's all there is to talk about, frankly. It's the same stuff as before. Raid Season updates. Okay, so we knew that we were going to be getting Ghost Spider, I thought, is what they were doing, but let's read on. Several updates head to the Greek raids. More milestones, increasing the total number of points needed to complete the race. Steel milestones will also will be updated with teal gear, more armory 14 and 15 fragments, and other random shit. and then Ghost Spider character shards. So they're probably going to be adding in a Ghost Spider in the same way that they added Silver Surfer on March the 19th, which is going to be actually pretty soon. That's going to be like tomorrow at store reset time. So that's actually, wouldn't it be on March the 20th? I'm pretty sure this is a typo because raid seasons end on Sunday, and that's on the 20th. So I think this is a typo here. I'm catching this in advance. And then they're removing the old beta raid orbs, so make sure you get rid of that and do that. There's going to be Echo in the Red Star Elite store. Yay! On March the 24th. Otherwise, we have Beta Raid Orbs coming up, double X Factor Shards, Energy Overload. I mentioned this before with regards to the 4-day milestone. That's also going to be on Sunday. So for the Fangs Out milestone, make sure you take advantage of this. And of course, we have Adam Warlock on Monday and a Electro Blitz on Monday. Quarter Blitz with Kitty Pride. So that's going to be important for the second milestone, which is going to be involving blitzing. And then we have some skill military crap, and then skill military flash event, I guess. So that's everything there. So yes, the takeaway home, we have Agatha coming, who's going to be even more effing insane than some of the other characters that we've mentioned. Honestly, between Strange 2, Evil Strange, and Agatha, those two seem to be the top characters. Wong looks okay, but I think his cooldowns look really, really high. I didn't really see any way that the team can battery themselves other than Agatha's ultimate, but it only gives it to herself. I didn't see any other ways, unless I missed something. Please let me know in the comments down below. Did I miss anything with regards to energy battering that's not Agatha to herself, like for the other team members to them? I don't know. Maybe one of the characters do have that, and I just didn't see the totality of everything. But yeah, Agatha looks pretty crazy. It actually looks like she could be also standalone viable, just like Strange 2, Evil Strange. So I would definitely see who's the campaign event unlock for this patch coming in 6.0. We also have a mystery 5th character that's really unknown at this point. I'm a little bit disappointed that Scarlet Witch, while it's a decent upgrade, it's not the Gamora 2.0 that I was hoping. But nonetheless, you know, I have a 7 red star, and I'll probably make use of that anyway. So that's the end, everyone. That's the end of Blogs with Boilon Friday. Good luck on the rest of your Morbius milestones that's upcoming for this weekend. And then, of course, I'll have another video out on Monday to talk about the second Flesh and Blood milestone. I think that's what it's called for then. And I'll do an update in terms of where we're going to be landing for free-to-play players for Morbius after that. So thanks, everyone, for coming. Enjoy your weekend. And until the next video, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.